All right, everyone, welcome back to another Business Therapy Thursday special episode. We do this once a month, so I want you to sit back, be ready for the deep insights and takeaways from our conversation that we have today. This is a deep dive coaching session. And we are all alone as business owners, as entrepreneurs. Sometimes we just need a sounding board. Sometimes we need someone to talk through things with. That's what these Business Therapy Thursday sessions are for. And if you would like to have one of these, send me an email to marshall@marshallstern.net. Information's in the show notes, but that's it. marshall@marshallstern.net. We can get on, we can have our deep dive business therapy session. If you're good with it being published as a podcast episode like this is today, great. If not, we can simply delete it and you can just have those deep insights. Anyways, on with the show. Get ready and enjoy. Hi, I'm Marshall Stern, and I've spent over 35 years leading and growing multiple small businesses. I know firsthand the struggles of entrepreneurship, feeling isolated, lonely, overwhelmed, and feeling like you have to do it all by yourself. I've been through multiple recessions, and I have felt the highs and the lows. I've been there, and I get it. This podcast is here to change that. Every week, I will bring you straight talking advice, real-world strategies, and honest conversations about what it takes to succeed in business without the fluff, the gimmicks, or the sugarcoating. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress, then you are in the right place. This is the Stern Truth. Welcome back, everyone, to another Business Therapy Thursday episode here on the Stern Truth Business Unfiltered. And we have on whatever side you're looking, right, my left, the amazing Earl Thomas, the voice. Earl, how are you today?
Very well. Thanks for having me, Marshall.
It's always a pleasure spending time with you. So, Earl.
Yes, I enjoy your wisdom in business, and it's good to be with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, compliments aside, here we go. Just for context, before we get into the actual business therapy part of today's conversation, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm a podcast host of Voice Power. It's a worldwide outreach, and that outreach keeps growing from countries and territories to cities. I love to promote businesses who are really serious about their business and they want an in-depth conversation. I love preparing. I love getting those questions. And of course, there's always secondary questions. And I am listening very strongly for those secondary questions. I plant them in the back of my mind. I don't write them down. I just stay really focused. And I have a passion for podcasting.
Yes. Well, you have a passion and a voice for podcasting, that's for sure. Okay. So in the time we have today, what would make this a really, really powerful conversation for you?
Learning more about how to be confident about when I bring up pricing in my pre-interviews, because that is the most challenging part. And I think it's slowly coming. It's been quite a money journey ever since that first guest in a pre-interview at Starbucks said to me, Earl, I'm going to pay you for this because I know the work and detail you put into it. That was back in 2022, and it just grew from there because of momentum and accountability. Yeah.
Are you referring to the Momentum Group?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, because the accountability, I never had a problem with figuring out what I wanted to be accountable for because it was totally related to the business. I wasn't filling time. I just knew that this would help me. Yes.
Well, no, I'm glad. And I know you've been in Momentum for a couple of years now, and now we've transitioned into the Entrepreneur Inner Circle. And we've talked about pricing from time to time. But I'm curious for today, at this point in your journey, your podcasting journey, because here's the thing, obviously a lot of podcasters don't charge. I know it's becoming more of a thing where people are starting to charge. Where does I know you said it's getting better, the confidence in pricing, but why do you think it's not quite there? Where do you think the gap is? What are you not confident about?
Well, I have a few experience where people say yes, and then less than 24 hours, when I come out of the momentum accountability, I get this long, very long LinkedIn message. It says, well, I wasn't sure what to say when we were talking about pricing, and yet I gave him a lot of room. I wanted to confirm that you're okay with this. And I can't be, I'm not in control of what other people think and feel and what guests feel.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I've had a couple of experiences where people weren't forthright with me.
Hmm. Okay. So do you think something's broken on the pre-interview? Is that where you're talking about that there's a disconnect maybe on the pre-interview?
I don't think anything's broken there. It's just a matter of confidence and trusting the other person. When they say yes, they mean yes. And when they say no, they mean no. They always know this, that when I'm talking about podcasting, they always feel my passion.
Mhm.
Yeah. They, and I try to stay connected with them because I don't want to burn any bridges. Because you
Okay.
never know, they may come back and they may realize, they may see who I'm getting on my podcast because I'm getting some really good guests, like Paula, who researched and spoke
Yeah.
about the American women winning the right to vote, and
Well,
she is amazing.
but Earl, here's the thing, and this is for anybody who ends up watching this, right? It's about when it comes to pricing, we have to make it. How do I say this? Um, Not everyone, and I know you know this. Not everyone will be an ideal client for your podcast.
Yeah,
Not everyone will be willing to pay for it. So I always say there has to be three things for someone to work with us in the in the service industry. Okay, really any product, anything. There has to be the need. Okay, for whatever we're doing, there has to be a desire. Okay, so like it's a need, the desire. That's kind of one in the same. Okay, so we'll call it just desire. We'll
hmm
say it desire,
yeah,
a desire for something because desire is powerful. There has to be the ability to pay. Okay, so they have to have the financial resources, whatever the amount is, right? I mean, you could be living in give an example, small little house. It's supposed to be a very hot summer, or an apartment. You very hot summer this year, and you say, okay, I'm going to get air conditioning, and you find out okay, it's an apartment. It's going to cost a fortune because there's no ducts or whatever it is, and it's going to cost me $20,000 for air conditioning in my tiny little apartment, which I don't have that money for. Probably not the best example, but there has to be the ability to pay. Okay, so desire. Oh God, I need air conditioning, central air conditioning, or whatever it would be called, right? We had
yeah,
to put in actually what are they called ductless in our home because we have like radiant heating, so there's no ducts, right? So it's a ductless system, so you pay a lot more,
yeah,
but not everyone has the ability to pay or finance or whatever you have to do,
yeah,
but the desire's there. Okay, so desire and ability. And the third one is the willingness to pay. And if you don't have all three, you don't have all three. You probably don't have a client. And our job is not to convince them. Okay. Our job is to show them and to lead them. If we feel that our job is to serve them. And by serving them, we need to lead them. If we feel like we are serving them powerfully and that this will help them, then it is our job to lead. This is my belief. It is our job to lead them to the decision to work with us.
yeah. And what I do is, in my pre-interview, I express how I create my quality podcast. And then I go into the pricing and then I do a pause, for questions. Is there anything?
I'm going to push back for a second, okay? Because we talked about
Sure.
this before. Do you think, I know it's important to you. Okay. What do you think is important to your guests?
It's important that they get good value for what they're paying for, that they get a good reach, that they can get business. So that's why it meant a lot to me when David Allen Stern got back to me and says, "Thank you, Earl. I got a client from our interview. He's an accent coach from Hollywood. Well, he was in Hollywood for a while.
Am I related to him? David Allen Stern? I'm related to David
I
Stern,
don't
but
know.
okay, maybe.
You look him up on LinkedIn. He's there, and
Okay. And just for the record, for anybody watching, I'm not related to Howard Stern, so stop it. I'm not related to Howard Stern. There's no relation.
I never
Uh,
thought of that ever.
oh, I have a story for that, but I'll do that another time. Although the guy is like really, he's a little bit more intelligent than I am. He is like one intelligent dude,
Yeah.
very well read. Okay, but anyways, enough with Howard Stern. Um, What do they really want?
Well, they want to feel at ease when they come on.
Okay.
They want to be able to express it really well. That's why sometimes they ask for, can you give me the questions before we go on? And I want to bring out their brilliance, and they'll take away the spontaneity. I actually answered that question yesterday, and she said, that sounds good, you know. But it's grown over 6 seasons. So I've added one new part is I offer them, do you have one or two questions you want me to ask? It's an option. It's up to you. The last one, the big picture coach, he didn't send me any questions. We had a great conversation. It actually turned into a two-parter.
I'm going to ask you the question again.
Okay.
I want to go deeper with the question.
Okay.
Earl, what do they really want? What do they really, really want? Why are you here? Let me ask you this. Why are you on this podcast episode?
Well, because I've increased my business income since 2022. And I feel that getting a hold of this pricing thing, it could turn it to a much higher level that I would go on with confidence. I would have the timing of when I bring up pricing. I mean, the other day I brought it up sooner and it didn't hurt.
Okay. But you are tying, and I've known you for a while, right? So we've had this conversation at times. It sounds like you are, correct me if I'm wrong, you are connecting the pricing to your value.
Well, that sounds correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
To your value, to what you do behind the scenes, to your uniqueness and your voice and your editing ability and how great the production of the podcast is, but also connecting it to your value as a person.
Yeah, because I put everything into it. I don't take any shortcuts.
This has nothing to do though with you as a person. Okay.
Right.
The value is what they are getting out of it.
Yeah, more business, more focus, more the public businesses are made more aware of what they can receive from this business.
Okay. So they get more. That's what it's all about, right? You've come onto this episode today because you want to get a handle on this pricing confidence. That's the result you want, so that you can bring on more guests and grow your podcast.
Exactly, because I have 14 in waiting that I want to follow up more.
Okay.
That I want to.
But they don't care. They don't care. I say this all the time. You've heard me say this before. I say it to my clients. Nobody cares what you do. Nobody cares what I do. Nobody cares that you have a podcast, that you spend hours on editing, and you're pretty much a perfectionist when it comes to your craft, right?
Yeah.
You have high standards, okay? Nobody, in the bigger picture, they don't really care. Okay, the video quality might be a little bit, the sound quality is important, obviously, because you have to be able to hear the podcast. They don't really care about all of that. They want to be able people to hear it. What they care about is exposure. What they care about is they're getting their message across. They're being seen. They could take those sound clips, those sound bites. They can take that podcast episode, and they can now. It's like the TEDx, right? TEDx is coming here in March, right? And it comes here multiple times. TEDx, TED Talks, whatever it is, and people go on the stage, not because their ideal client is on the stage or even going to see it, right? From the actual talk itself. People go on I've considered it. People go on the stage because now they have this recording. They can say they've been on TED, they've been on a TED Talk, and they could take that and use it as credibility and share it with the world, their message. They can get their message across. That's what people want. That's why people come onto your podcast. It's what's in it for them.
Yes.
Okay. So not everyone is going to be an ideal client. Not everyone's going to want to pay to get their message across. So it's about finding those people who do want to get their message across, and it's important enough to them. Okay. And your podcast has staying power. A lot of podcasts don't. You've been around 6 years, right? 6 seasons now?
I'm in my 6th season. That's correct.
Okay. I don't even know what the stat is, but I know that's a lot longer than most. Okay. My podcast, now we're finishing up our 1st season. But this is my 2nd go around. I didn't last the first time, like 10 years ago when I did it.
Oh, you tried it 10 years ago?
About 11 years ago, I had a podcast. I lasted maybe 20 episodes and it just became too much. So the fact that you've been around for now into your sixth season is credible. It's credible. Okay.
Thank you.
And but what does that benefit others? You have a voice, you have a strong listening audience, and yes, it's a polished, okay, episode podcast. So they can take that. So that's the quality of it, right? It's a quality podcast. They can take that and now they can use it and promote and market themselves.
Yes. And
Okay.
I can repurpose podcasts and
Right.
it's not a charge to them. I'll
Right.
do that every once in a while.
Right. So going back to the pricing part, because
Hmm.
it's not an astronomical amount that you charge for people to be on the podcast. Um, okay, you let's back up for a second. You made a comment a few minutes ago. You said, I don't remember the word you used. You didn't use the word frustrating. I guess it's probably disappointing, but where people they'll be on the pre-podcast, and they'll say yes, and then the next day in LinkedIn, whatever, they put this long thing saying, I didn't know how to say whatever, but no, I'm not interested.
Yeah. They don't want to pay.
They
No, I'm
don't
not
want to
going to
pay.
pay.
They
Yeah.
don't want to pay. Okay. And how does that make you feel?
Well, it's something I learned from the self-employment program. I like the no's because the no's get me closer to a yes. So then
Okay.
I get on to somebody else. I mean, at first that one that I brought out about 24 hours later, yeah, I was disappointed because I thought, because I
Yeah.
can visualize how good of an interview that could be.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I love interviewing. I love watching a good interview. Yeah.
Okay. So is the confidence that you're looking for in asking for the business? Is the confidence in saying the price?
The confidence is it doesn't matter what they say. I'm going to deliver it with passion because those who have said no always observe and make mention of my passion. And that's my word for the year: passionately confident and confidently passionate.
I'm kind of giggling because first of all, you say that so well. Like it's powerful, right?
Yeah.
It's very powerful. You should be a podcast host. Um,
I am a
oh yeah, you
voice
are.
power.
You are a voice power. Okay, which we're going to put in the show notes. I want people to check it out. So you're saying you want to be confident about the outcome, one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had more yeses, really, since that one that happened and
But
the other one earlier.
right. But it's like what we've talked about in Momentum. We've talked about in the Entrepreneur Kickstart Growth Lab, which you were recently in. We're going to
Mhm.
be talking about in the inner circle as we move forward. We have to release ourselves. It's not easy. Trust me, I get it. We need to release ourselves from the outcome.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Okay. But it's hard because, especially, well, there's two parts. There's some people who are tied to the outcome because they need the money. I need that money. I need that client. I need that enrollment. Okay. And if that's you, or if there are people out there that are watching this, if that's them, I'm saying stop it. Because when we feel that way, and I know this from experience, okay, we show up differently. We're not showing up serving. We're showing up in scarcity mode.
Yeah.
People feel it, and it's how we respond and how what our actions are. And that's actions such as sending them a message. Hey, just checking in. Are you interested? Hey, just checking in. This. Hey, just checking in. Hey, do you want to be on? Do you want to pay me? Do you want to work with me? People don't like that. Okay. Um, however, the question really is, if you, not the question, the thing is this, the stern truth is this. When you put yourself in the mindset that you, before every email, LinkedIn post, message, pre-podcast, chat, I'm going on there, I'm interviewing this person, I'm going to be of service. What happens, happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just because sometimes it's just a choice because people have paid you before.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if it's a lack of confidence, maybe confidently going in, letting go of the outcome.
Hmm.
Okay. Some people need space. Some people just need time.
Yeah.
right? Because paying to be on a podcast for many is a new thing, right? Although I think that's changing. Okay. It's just like podcasts used to be just all like just a podcast, no ads. Now you're hearing more and more podcasts with ads because the podcaster wants to make revenue from it. Okay. So for you, this is your business model, but instead of doing ads, you're charging people to be on your podcast because it's a quality podcast. But it's a quality podcast, it's the reach. Okay. They're getting really good reach. And I don't know how many countries you're in. I'm in maybe, I don't know, 10 countries. You're in like a lot more countries than I am. Okay. You have a lot more listeners. Obviously, 6 years you're going to have, right? You have that credibility.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can only control the action steps that you take. Okay. And as long as even if it's like just a checklist, because I know you have checklists, you have all this stuff, you're very organized. Even if you have a checklist, that you rate yourself after, did I show up and serve? Did I listen intentionally and deeply? Of course you did. Did I show passion? Of course, right? Just whatever those are for you. Did I show up confidently? Okay. Because passion can breed confidence. Other people feel it. Okay. But what are you not confident about? I'm going to ask that question again.
Well, I can't be confident of what they're going to say.
No.
Because I can't control what they're going to say. And by the way, I can send you later the number of countries and the number of cities. It's just, it's just not on the top of my head right
No,
now.
I know you're in a lot. I know you're in a lot. But no, you can, right? We talk about that, right? Process goals versus outcome goals. We have no control over the outcome.
Yeah.
Full control. We have some control. Continue, though.
But I feel really confident. I mean, I've got this one coming up on Monday, and I prepared myself for it because I put a little, it's always the question of, I make the connection, and then I bring up the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
When do I bring it up? I don't usually bring it up at the beginning. But I got a response for the sound clip, and I looked. It sounded like she was on his network,
Mm-hmm.
and so I thanked her, and I said, "Are you interested in promoting your business with an in-depth conversation?"
Mm-hmm.
And she came back with a yes, and she set it up with her supervisor, and they asked, "What do you need? What can you tell us that we can be fully prepared?" And I included, and I'll go into the tier 2 pricing in detail with you.
Mm-hmm.
She requested a Zoom invite, and I did it. And she said, "Thank you. We're looking forward to being with you." So with that one, I've got more confidence, I think, because she didn't say, "Oh, we're not going to pay." It's been brought up.
Okay, but now you're saying there's confidence, like when people say no, that sort of breaks your confidence.
Well, I'm on to my next. I mean,
Yeah.
I have people listening who are saying, "Well, consider this person." Actually, I had agencies contacting me, and I didn't realize I had to treat them differently. They're wanting to talk about pricing right away, and I didn't realize they were an agency. So with my mentor, I did a one-on-one and got that down for should an agency approach me.
Okay, good. But here's the thing. Maybe it's no longer, maybe you're showing up, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you're showing up trying to land these clients, these guests. Okay. Someone's gonna reach out, maybe it's on LinkedIn, because I know you're active on LinkedIn, and you get a connection, and it's like, oh, hey, I have this podcast. Would you be interested in promoting your business on the podcast? Let's have a chat. You get into a pre-chat, right? And you're trying to land them as a guest.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
That sounds correct.
Okay. Maybe stop doing that.
I don't understand, because there's got to be, what am I stop doing?
Everything you're doing is right. Okay, 100%. Yeah. Keep doing all that.
Yeah.
But stop trying to land them as a guest.
Then they take that out of my mindset. Yeah.
You are interviewing people to see if they are a fit for your podcast.
That's right. And I have a 3-step fit. When we get past the pricing, there's 3 steps that they need to do.
Yeah. Maybe pricing should be a bigger step.
Pricing is in those 3 steps, because there's a 20% non-refundable fee that they need to pay.
Okay. So some people, it's about connecting with people. Look, here's the thing. The first time around, and I said this, I think, the other day, it used to take like what, seven touches, right? Yeah. To get clients or customers or whatever. Nowadays, with all the noise out there and digital media, digital marketing, all this stuff, it's more like probably 15.
Oh,
Like it's a lot more. I don't know what the stat is now, or 12 or something. It's a lot more touches. People need to see. Okay. I remember Tony Robbins back in the 90s. I don't know if you remember those
oh
infomercials he
yeah.
used to have. Okay. I,
Yes.
I watched Personal Power, his like midnight infomercial on whatever channel it was, PBS or something. Um, Probably like 20 times, 20, 30 times until I bought it. It was $99, which to me back then going in university or college was a lot. But it took me 20 times or whatever to say, okay, I'm there, I'm ready. I don't know what kind of day it was I had at school or whatever at college, but I was in the moment. Like I was ripe for the pickings. I was ready. Okay, but I'd seen it before, so pulled out my credit card, went to the 1-800 number, and I ordered it. And it was at that point the best purchase I'd made in a long time. Okay, I still have the cassette tape set in my closet, right? I
Yeah.
can't play because I have no cassette tape anywhere. But the point is, it takes time. And the confidence part of it, okay, if you come from a place, and I know you're a place of service, but if you truly tap into that place of service and of curiosity and just connecting with people, because you are a connector, asking the questions, seeing if they are a fit for you, okay, and filtering out those who are not a fit. Part of the fit, though, Earl, is ability and willingness to pay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of these people, look, it's not a lot of money. Most of these people have the ability. We're not talking thousands of dollars to be a guest.
That's correct.
A few $100s or whatever. How much is it if I want to be a guest on your podcast?
Well, it's a two-tier. The
Okay.
first tier is 250. The second tier is 345.
Yeah. So it's not a lot of money. So most people have that ability. If they have a message that they want out there, they want to grow their audience, they want to come across as a thought leader, an expert, or whatever it is, or help change the world. That's not a huge investment to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's a cross promotion, then I'm guest on their podcast and they guest on mine, and there's no
Okay.
cost.
Okay. But is there any confidence issue on that?
Oh, no.
Why?
Well, there's no pressure to land it. And
What
yeah.
what if you want to be a guest on their podcast and then you have an interview with them and they don't think you're a fit for theirs?
Well, what we do at the end of the pre-interview, we book both of those interviews.
Okay. So okay.
There's no three-step process there.
So no money is being exchanged, so it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just make sure we got our intros, our biotemps. We have our sound check. We check, make sure sound is good.
Yeah. Okay. So the confidence is coming from the S's.
Yeah, because I'm getting a lot of them.
No, but sorry, let me reframe that. You're getting confidence from yeses.
Yeah.
Sounds like, for sure. We all do, right? Oh yeah, okay, great, because you're doing what you love. But it sounds like your confidence, so it's like I don't know whatever, your cell phone, right? Or your okay, we talked about this before. Your MacBook charging, right? The battery.
Yeah.
It sounds like the battery is going up, the confidence is going up, 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 up. When they say yes, 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 no, I'm not interested anymore. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And the confidence goes down. Does that sound right?
Well, yes and no, because then I'm on to the next person. I keep records of who I've in contact with, and I've got quite a few to get follow up to who's shown some interest. So I'm going to be gradually getting those followed up. And I know that I have one on Monday. So I've had the best start of any podcast year this January.
Okay.
And I know I can continue it.
So that's confidence.
Yes.
You are confident.
Yes.
What takes away? What depletes that confidence?
I don't think anything can. I don't think a no does. Let's just say, for instance, they just decide we have to come back and think about it. Because I don't know what they're going to say, but they know there's pricing involved. So I got a strong feeling that they're going to go for it.
So where's the issue on the pricing?
Well, it's like I built up this momentum, and being in momentum, and Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's if I got five no's in a row, that would hurt the confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe I can approach it differently. If they say no, well, what's the issue with money? Uh, we know it takes money to create business.
Hmm.
You, you can't just get things for free. You walk into a store, don't I get this for free?
Yeah.
I mean, clients don't do that when they walk into stores. They expect to pay.
Yeah.
And I guess I am creating the expectation of wanting to pay. Yeah.
Okay. But what if I said to you, I don't think you have a pricing issue, like a pricing confidence issue?
No, yeah, it could be.
I think it's something that I guess it goes back to the question at the beginning, as this whole conversation goes full circle.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the question again. What
Okay.
would have, as we're winding down, what would have made, what would you have liked, what would you like still to come out of this session?
Well, I think I'm already coming out of this session with it. I'm feeling more confidence because of what we're talking about in depth, plus how I did the other day with
Mhm.
following up. And when they wanted to know, what can they do to prepare? And I included, we'll go into depth in my two-tier pricing system. I didn't say, oh, are you willing to pay?
Yeah.
No, no. And they came back with, thank you, for the invite, the Zoom invite. So yeah, I'm excited to get over to my eventually. I'm not going to do them all today because I believe that you need to go slowly and methodically and
Mhm.
in depth and with service. To the boat. There's about 14
To follow up
to
on.
follow up. Yes.
Yeah. So that's where, listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I just actually had a really good conversation with someone. That'll be a future episode. We talked about how clarity breeds confidence.
Mhm.
Okay. So in this case, it is. That's just period. It's true. Okay. Another stern truth. Clarity breeds confidence. How? Because getting clarity on, for you, okay, your pricing, which you have clarity, who you want to attract, who you want as guests, your three-step process, three-step the filter, right?
Mhm.
You have
Yeah.
clarity. Okay. You have a plan, you have a follow-up plan. So you have clarity on what to do. That's about implementing it. That all breeds the confidence. You
Yeah.
keep doing that and you keep being consistent with that, you're going to get some no's, 100%.
Yeah.
You're going to get some yeses eventually. You might get five no's, but then you get that one yes. It's like the whole look, you might get 100 no's. Jack Canfield, right? Chicken Soup for
Hmm.
the Soul, they got 100 no's first time around with their first book.
Yeah.
Publishers, 100 publishers, 100 no's. And he was in the shower. I don't know if you ever heard the story in the shower, doing his thing, washing himself, and he was frustrated. He was ready to give up. That 101st response came in. It was a yes. And it became the most successful personal development book franchise in the history. Okay.
Yeah.
They just kept going, kept putting themselves out there, kept going for no's, and then they got a yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe we talk about momentum a lot. Momentum breeds confidence.
Yes.
Taking action breeds confidence. Having
Yes.
clarity breeds confidence. So just keep doing what you're doing. You get the no. You said you just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good. Honestly, I don't think you have a confidence issue around pricing. Your price is the
Well, I
price.
didn't expect to hear that, but I'm looking forward to listening to this podcast.
I do want you to listen to this back because I want you to hear like where we've gone with it.
Yeah.
I was really trying to go deeper with it and say, okay, where is this issue, Earl, with this confidence with the pricing? And there's no issue.
Yeah.
If you said to me you have an issue bringing up the price, I'll ask you that. Do you have an issue bringing up price?
Well, I won't on Monday because I've already brought it up. I think I'm going to feel different when I go, I'll describe how I create my quality
Yeah,
podcast. And then I'll go into pricing
yeah,
and then I'll do a pause and ask, are there any questions so far? But I'm glad I did that step of when they asked for
yeah.
what do we need to prepare?
Here's a good example. So we're talking about at the time of recording this, we just recently launched the Entrepreneur Inner Circle. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been putting it out there on social media, messaging posts or whatnot in different groups, looking for the right people to join our inner circle. Okay? If people are interested, they reach out to me. First thing I say to them, I could say in the post, okay, but I don't want to say in the post that there's a cost. Okay? It's not a huge cost. It's a cost to join the inner circle. I don't say in the post, and I'll tell you why in a second. And this is for our listeners too. When they reach out to me, say, "Oh, I'm interested in learning more about the inner circle." First of all, are they a fit? So I'll ask them what they do. This is just in text, okay?
Yeah.
And because they might not be a fit, depending on, they might even not have a business of any kind, right? Usually they do, because that's what this is for. And then I'll say though, okay, I'll send you the link just so you know. It is a membership-based group. There is a cost to it. There are different membership options. If you're interested, I can send you the link. Now they know there's a cost. They don't know what the cost is. I send them the link. If they're interested in talking further, we can have a chat. If they just say, "Oh no, I'm not interested," then I realize, okay, they don't see the value, or they're not ready, they're not a fit, and you just move on. Okay. When you talk about price, and this is a great question, this is for maybe another podcast down the road. I believe, because people ask me this all the time, where should I mention price? Okay. If you mention price too soon to people without connecting with them, now it's about the price.
Yeah.
When they don't get to know you or they don't get to experience you, now it's all about the price.
That was my thing. You see, I want to make that strong, good connection before I bring up price, and then I bring it up in the pre-interview.
Yeah.
And then and some have often said, "Well, I wish I would have known about that sooner."
That's fine. Some people will be, yeah, but then they're all about the price. Then they don't see the value, Earl. Do you know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so if I get on a discovery call, breakthrough clarity call with a potential client, someone who's looking for guidance, right? I will say to them, they'll say to me, "Oh, yeah, I'd like to know like how your packages work and what you do and whatever." And I'll say, "Okay, we'll get to that, because honestly, we might not even be a fit." Yes, obviously there's a cost or an investment. It's an investment to work with me.
Yeah.
But there's no point in talking about that right now. I'll get to that afterwards if you're even still interested. If we are still interested, there's no point going to price right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've had one person in all my years push me on that, saying, "Okay, well, I don't want to waste my time. Just tell me what the price is." I know right away I don't want to work with that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a bait and switch. Someone said to me, isn't it a bait and switch? You're kind of, no, it's not. There is a price. Okay. But we're not going to talk about the price because right now we'll get into it. First, let's even see if it's a fit. And let's see if what I can offer you is of value. And if what you can offer to me is of value. Because Earl, in this situation, more than my coaching, well, it's similar in the sense I only want to work with people that are that get it, who are coachable, have a vision, and want to do what it takes to achieve that vision, so that we can work together, and then they can shout from the rooftop, Google review or whatever, "My God, this guy is like incredible, hire him, blah, 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 blah." If I can make a transformation and an impact on someone like that, to that degree, am I the right person for them? I really want to make a difference. I'm not trying to do that for them so I get that, but do you know what I mean? I want to serve them so powerfully that they will shout to the rooftop. It's the same thing with you.
Well, I have
yeah. Okay.
I had a guy who wanted to come on my podcast, and I was so busy in that particular month that I made sure, well, I will get back to you. It's just so busy. And he was good with that. And then when I talked to him, I said, "Well, how many podcasts have you been on?" He thought for a minute, "Well, about 60. And I thought in my mind, don't say it, but I thought in my mind, he's not going to want to pay and be on my podcast. And then a few seconds later, or moments, he said, "Yeah, but I paid to be on some." And he turned out to be a wonderful guest. And he paid, and yeah, it was an incredible story. And it turned into a 2-part story.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and before we go, with people paying you to be on your podcast, yes, it's an investment on their part, but it's a huge investment and a huge risk on your part.
Yes.
Because your image, your voice power, Earl, is all about the guest. It's this people, these amazing people.
Yeah.
Just like TED, it's an application process. TED Talk that won't take anyone.
Yeah.
TED Talk is very specific. You have to send a video in. You have to have whatever the theme is. And it has to be powerful enough because they only bring the best of the best.
Yeah.
And same thing with voice power. So be very selective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I hate to say it's cliche-ish, stand in your power, voice power, stand in your power and select the people that you want on your podcast. You are the ones that are interviewing them.
Yeah. And I know with TED Talks and everything, I wouldn't be a good fit because you got to stand in that. I like to move around a
Yeah, I don't know
bit,
if yeah, you have to stand on that.
stage presence.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope this was helpful to you.
Oh, amazingly, yes. Really good. I mean, I'm not amazed at it, but it's been great. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Excellent. So yeah. So I think we've solved it. You don't have a confidence issue with pricing.
Right.
Okay. Maybe it was the way you were looking at it. Maybe that was the issue. The way you were looking at it was the issue.
Yeah. And I think I helped it before I came on this podcast by offering we'll discuss my two-tier pricing to this potential podcast guest that I'm going to have on Monday. They know what they're coming into.
Yeah. 100%. Perfect. Well, all the best with that one. Of course, release yourself from the outcome.
Right.
And I know it's difficult. People, my friends, I know you want to work with someone, like especially like on your podcast. Oh, I really want this person on the podcast because I think it would be amazing to have this person. I've had clients or prospects that I really want to work with because I knew I would wake up every morning so excited to work with them and I could do amazing things with them and their business. That is a dangerous feeling to have.
Yeah.
Because it's the actions it's how we respond to that. Okay. If they say yes and you work with them, then show that passion, show that energy. But they have to be the ones that have to be a hell yes, and they have to be a fit for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. All right, everyone. I would love to hear your feedback. Do you have a confidence issue around pricing? And do you have any feedback for Earl? Check out Earl's voice power stuff. Is in the link is in the show notes. You can find Earl on LinkedIn. You can find him everywhere. He is the voice. He is amazing. Highly recommend you check out his podcast. And if you want to be on his podcast and you're fit for it and you have a message to share, you know where to find him.
Duke Earl at shaw.ca, my email address. Earl Thomas, the voice, creating vocal paradise for your exact needs.
Need I say more? See you all again next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Starting Tree. If you found today's episode helpful, we would love to hear from you. Please like, share, and leave us a review. Also, if you'd like to be a guest in an upcoming episode or join us in one of our Momentum Accountability Group sessions, simply email me to marshall@marshallstern.net. That's marshallstern.net. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep pushing forward and leading with confidence.